If your bloating and gas are so bad that you feel embarrassed or avoid eating with other people, you know how stressful that can be. In this video, I'll explain why your digestion keeps reacting this way and show you what you can do to improve it, so you can again enjoy your meals and feel comfortable around other people. Now, many people come to see me only after years of struggling with bloating and gas. Often, by the time they come, they already tried almost everything. They removed more and more foods from their diet, tested for food allergies and food intolerances, tried various probiotics, digestive enzymes, and all kinds of supplements. Some even underwent a colonoscopy without finding any clear reason for their symptoms. But despite all of that, the bloating continued, and eventually many of them became completely confused about what they should actually eat, because they no longer knew what their body can tolerate. And that's exactly where many people get stuck. They keep looking for one particular food to blame, while the real reason is often much bigger than that. Now, don't get me wrong, food certainly matters. However, in Ayurveda, not everything that's generally considered healthy is healthy for everybody, at any time or in any combination with other foods. Ayurveda doesn't look only whether a particular food is considered good or healthy for you. It also looks at the strength of your digestion. So, if the same foods leave you feeling perfectly fine one day and bloated the next one, the food itself is probably not the whole story. There are several factors besides the food that influence how well your digestion works. And that is when you eat, how much you eat, how you prepare your food, whether you combine foods appropriately, whether you eat calmly or in a hurry, and what your daily routine looks like. And all of these factors influence how efficiently your body digests and processes the food. In other words, you can eat the highest quality foods like fresh and organic, but if your everyday habits weaken your digestion, your body won't process them efficiently, which can lead to gas and bloating. So, what are those everyday habits that may be causing your bloating and gas? Well, you might be surprised because many of them are considered completely normal simply because so many people do them. But before I tell you what you can do to reduce bloating and gas, let me first explain how Ayurveda understands digestion, because once you understand what's really happening, the recommendations I'll share with you will make much more sense. In Ayurveda, the ability to digest food is called Agni, or digestive fire. Agni is responsible for your body's ability to break down the food, absorb the nutrients it needs, and deliver them to your cells, and then turn them into the nourishment and energy. Now, when digestion is strong, when Agni is strong and steady, your body digests food efficiently. You feel light after eating and your energy remains stable throughout the day. But when your Agni becomes weak or irregular, food is no longer processed properly. It may sit heavily in your digestive tract, move too slowly through it, or be digested only partially. And this is when the bloating and gas often begin. In Ayurveda, bloating and gas are always connected with an increase of Vata in the digestive system. Now, Vata is one of the three primary bioenergies that govern all movement within the body, including the movement of the food through your digestive tract and the elimination of waste products. Its main seat is in the colon, and it governs all those bodily functions through its qualities, and that is cold, dry, light, rough, and mobile. Now, one of the fundamental laws of nature is that like increases like. And both prevention and treatment in Ayurveda are based on this principle. Simply put, if you repeatedly expose your body to cold, dry, rough, or irregular influences, those same qualities gradually become stronger in your body, producing corresponding bodily signs and symptoms. Now, Vata responds in exactly the same way. So, when you regularly eat foods that has Vata qualities, such as refrigerated foods and drinks, raw foods like salads, or dry foods like crackers, or meals without enough healthy fat, or you might skip meals, eat at irregular times, drink carbonated or stimulating drinks, rush through meals, or eat while stressed, those same qualities gradually become stronger in your digestive system. Now you might be thinking, but okay, aren't these actually healthy foods? And you're right, they are. I am not saying these foods are bad or unhealthy. What I'm trying to say is that if your Vata is already increased, then the qualities of these foods will increase it even further, thus producing even more bloating and gas. Furthermore, if Vata keeps increasing, your digestion and appetite will gradually become irregular. One day you may feel really hungry, and the next day you may have no appetite at all. You may even notice that exactly the same meal feels perfectly fine one day, yet leaves you completely bloated and full of gas the next. Now, with irregular digestion, there will always be some residue of incompletely processed food in your digestive system. Ayurveda calls this ama, a heavy, sticky residue that forms when digestion is unable to complete its work properly. So, the problem is not always that your stomach is sensitive to a certain food. Very often, it is increased Vata that disrupts the way food is processed and moved through your body. Its increased qualities within the body produce corresponding bodily signs and symptoms such as gas and bloating. Okay, so now that you understand what's actually happening, let's look at what you can do about it. These are usually the first changes I recommend when bloating and gas are connected with increased Vata, because they address the underlying causes of the problem rather than just symptoms. First, drink a glass of warm water first thing in the morning. This will help you to stimulate the digestive system and promote intestinal peristalsis, or the movement of your colon. In addition, it contributes to hydration and may help you to reduce the feeling of bloating. Then, switch to freshly cooked warm meals. Cooking softens the food and begins breaking it down before it reaches your digestive system. In a way, you can think of cooked meals or food as being partially pre-digested, which means that your digestion has less work to do then. The food should also contain moisture and enough healthy fats. Soups, stews, porridges, cooked grains or vegetables, always with a little of ghee or a good quality oil, help to balance Vata's cold, dry and rough qualities. The best way to start your day is with a warm bowl of cooked oat porridge with a teaspoon of ghee, and to finish the day with lighter, more liquid meals like soups or stews. Now, don't panic. This doesn't mean you can never ever eat salad again. But if your digestion is already irregular and you are experiencing daily gas and bloating, raw salads may not be the best choice at this moment. You can return to them gradually when your digestion becomes stronger and more stable. For the time being, it may also be helpful to reduce foods that naturally produce more gas, such as beans, lentils, cabbage or cauliflower. Bread and pastries made with yeast may also increase bloating, at least in some people. Now, remember that the goal is simply to give your digestive system the support it needs to regain its balance. But food is only part of the picture. The way you combine the foods can either support your digestion or disturb it even further. For example, and this is one of the most common habits I see around, you should stop combining fresh fruits with any other foods. The reason is it digests much faster than other foods and may begin fermenting while the rest of the meal is still being processed. So if you enjoy, let's say, banana milkshakes or eating melon or grapes together with cheese, this may be one of the reasons your digestion is struggling. Now, let's have a look at how you eat, because even the right food can cause problems if you eat it in a way that disturbs your digestion. Remember, colon is the main seat of Vata, and one of the things Vata needs the most to stay balanced is regularity. So let's support it by eating at regular times. Sit down while eating and give the meal your full attention. Chew your food thoroughly because digestion begins in the mouth. Saliva actually contains specific enzymes that begin the chemical breakdown of your food the moment you start chewing. So the better you chew, the less work your stomach has to do afterwards. Also, give your digestive system enough time to fully digest one meal before you eat again. Ideally, leave it at least 3 hours between any meal. Because if you eat again too soon, even if it's only fruit or handful of nuts, the previous meal has not yet been fully digested. The newly eaten food mixes with food that is already partially digested, disrupting the natural digestive process. This creates conditions for fermentation, which lead to bloating, gas, and over time, the formation of ama. Now, there is one more habit that keeps this problem going, and sooner or later, almost everyone struggling with bloating and gas starts doing it. They begin holding the gas in because they feel embarrassed. Now, obviously, I'm not suggesting that you go through life passing gas whenever and wherever you feel like it. The real goal is to improve your digestion so that you don't have to deal with it in the first place. But while you're working on that, try not to suppress your body's natural urges to pass gas or have a bowel movement. According to Ayurveda, suppressing these natural urges disturbs the normal downward movement of Vata, creating even more pressure and tension within the digestive system. Think of it this way. You're changing your diet and daily habits to help your digestion to recover. But every time you suppress one of these natural urges, you're working against that process instead of supporting it. As you've seen, it's these small daily habits that gradually create the conditions your digestive system needs to recover. Warmth, moisture, healthy oils, regularity, and proper downward movement of Vata. Once you've created these healthy conditions, digestive spices and carefully selected Ayurvedic herbal formulations can become a valuable part of your recovery. They support healthy digestion, but they cannot replace the daily habit that create it. The good news is that many of the spices that support healthy digestion are probably already in your kitchen. Fennel, cumin, coriander, fresh ginger, cinnamon, and asafoetida are some of the best examples. Although they all help to support digestion and balance Vata, especially in the digestive tract, each one works in a slightly different way. Ginger brings warmth and stimulates the digestion. Cumin also supports digestion but also helps to reduce gas and promotes the healthy movement of the food through the digestive tract. Fennel has a slightly gentler action and is especially helpful when bloating is accompanied by tightness or cramping. Asafoetida is one of Ayurveda's most valued spices for releasing trapped gas and balancing Vata in the intestines. You can easily include these spices in your daily cooking or prepare a simple digestive tea by combining equal parts of cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds. Now, Ayurveda also uses classical herbal formulations for gas and Vata-related bloating, such as Hingvashtak Churna. Adding Triphala may be helpful when bloating is associated with irregular bowel movement, dry stool, or constipation. And sometimes even long-standing digestive problem can have a surprisingly simple solution. So let me finish with a story that illustrates this perfectly. Many years ago, while I was staying in an ashram in India, I met a young woman who had heard I was studying Ayurveda and asked if I could help her. Now, for months, she had been suffering from a severe abdominal colic and bloating. Her medical tests did not reveal any clear cause, and she was scheduled for diagnostic surgery after returning home. Now, looking at her symptoms through the lens of Ayurveda, the underlying problem was clear to me. Vata had become trapped in the intestines and was moving upward. So I recommended that she chew just 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds mixed together with 1 teaspoon of ghee after each main meal, drinking warm water throughout the day and avoiding cool, cold, raw, dry, and spicy food. She started feeling better within a week. Now, within 3 weeks, her bloating had completely disappeared and the colic was gone. Now, this wasn't a miracle. It certainly doesn't mean that fennel and ghee will solve every digestive problem. But it worked because together these simple changes gave her digestion exactly what it needed. And that is warm, lubrication, stronger Agni, and support for Vata's natural downward movement. As you've seen, improving digestion isn't about finding one food that's causing the problem. More often, it's about creating the right conditions for your digestion to work the way it was designed to, through the small changes you make every day. And that's really what Ayurveda is all about. It's not about searching for one miracle solution. It's about understanding what your body needs, removing what gets in the way, and creating conditions that allow it to function as it was designed to. Now, if you'd like to learn more about improving your digestion with Ayurveda, I have written a book called Tired, Bloated and Out of Balance. It expands on many of the ideas we've covered today and gives you many practical steps you can start applying right away. You'll find the link in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Every like, every comment and subscription helps YouTube show this information to thousands more people around the world who may be looking for the same answers. And if you know somebody who struggles with the same problem, please share this video with them. In the next video, I'll show you how your daily routine can become one of the most powerful tools for improving your energy, vitality, and immunity the Ayurvedic way. Thank you for watching.